Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio. Ours is a place where dreams take flight, voices are heard, and stories are shared. This is where cultures meet, connections are formed, and ideas are transformed into action. This is your destination for authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives, and meaningful conversations. We're where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover our world of education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our USA Global TV channel and download our USA Global TV app. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. With heartfelt thanks to our executive producer, Dr. Jacalyn KERBECK, music scored by Yifei Tang from Cloud Road Music, creative direction by Paul Garcia, and I'm Al Cini, and I'm very proud to be part of the USA Global TV and Radio family. So join us here at USA Global TV and Radio. Make us your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication, or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited. Thank you for being a part of our global community. Let's inspire together.
Hello and welcome to Iconic Women. I'm Dr. Jacalyn KERBECK, and this is USA Global TV and Radio. We are streaming on many platforms, but we'd love to have you join our family and our community on YouTube, where we have two channels, USA Global TV and Radio, where we earned the YouTube Silver Creator Award for over 100,000 followers, and also Dr. Jacalyn KERBECK, which we started just a couple of years ago. I am very excited to be here for this episode. For those of you who aren't aware, Iconic Women is a show that I put together after I went to Greece last year, and I met an incredibly iconic woman, Dr. Alkistis Agio, who is helping people really tap into who it is they are. And so she is a wizard when it comes to anything that has to do with goddesses and Greek mythology and Greek psychology. So I am excited that we have this show, and we celebrate iconic women from all over the world. Today, we have a very special guest who joined us for another program. If you missed it, it's not too late. You can go over to our YouTube channels and you can find it there under Judgment, the Hidden Sin. My guest today is Dr. Aninda Sidhana, and she is an expert in an area where we haven't actually explored prior to the show that we did before this. So she is a psychosexual medicine expert, and she doesn't like the term expert, so we'll go with specialist, but she really helps people understand where that connection is between mental health, sexual health, relationships, and behavior. She comes from a family of psychiatrists. How cool is that? Her mom, her dad, her sister, and herself. And they are providing opportunities for people to reach out and to be heard. So let's welcome the good doctor to our program. She's joining us from India. Hello, doctor. Thanks for being here.
Hello, thanks a lot. I love the title, The Iconic Woman, the Goddess Lies Within.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, it's such a wonderful opportunity that we have to continue our conversation, because our shows are 40 minutes and we can't really dig into everything as much as we would like. Yeah. But for people who didn't see the other episode, could you give a brief overview, which is kind of hard to do in your field, but a brief overview of who it is you help and how you do that?
So basically, I am a psychiatrist. So mental health awareness is, I believe the mental health is a necessity. It's not a luxury. Everyone is fighting a battle, so be kind. Another is a sexual. All the things I work are the stigmatized. Nobody talks about them. Then sexual health, no one talks about it, but size does not matter. It is about the connection you have. Then the LGBT, no one talks. And gender-based violence, that is one thing which is very, very close to my heart. That is a meaning of my life I got as I feel. So that is really the meaning of my life, and I work in that. And mental health is definitely, that is in my blood.
Yes, I love that. And I would love to meet your family at some point as well, because to have
Definitely.
that in common where all of you are about giving back and helping others. So, Doctor, we touched on a number of topics on our show before, but I'd love for you to explain, because you did it so well. And I can't think of the exact way that you framed it up, between what is our sexuality and what is our sexual gender, so to speak. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, absolutely. Like sexuality and the gender. Gender is how we feel about ourselves. What is our mind saying? So it is between the ear. It has nothing to do with the our sexual organs. Sex is between the legs. So that is the simplest way one can understand.
All right, thank you for that. That is very clear, between the ears or between the legs. So what, when you saw that this was an opportunity to come forward, and by the way, thank you to Simon McDonald, because he's one of our team
Yeah.
members and I really appreciate the referral. But when you saw that it was iconic women, what did that bring up for you? Who did you think of?
Iconic women. I think of myself right now, actually, because I have rebuilt my life twice from the scratch, and now I always laugh at it, like maybe like I can make a movie from scars to stars.
I
So
love
talking to you is not less than talking to a star, of course.
so I
No,
really
but iconic
appreciate
women
that.
is definitely my closest friends. I have seen them. I don't care about the money, the name, the success, but the compassion and the kindness who has, that is the iconic.
Absolutely. And so we've touched on this a little bit, but I'm actually certified as an etiquette professional. And part of that is really about emotional intelligence, emotional
Yes,
awareness. It's about empathy, compassion, and kindness. And you don't have to take a course, you don't have to get a degree to understand that being respectful and mindful and kind to other people really can make a big difference in someone's life. The smallest thing, saying hello. I remember when I was living in Florida, and it has nothing to do with that, but I would go for a walk and I would be, hi, I'd say hello to everyone, and no one
yes,
would say anything. And I'd be like, okay. And I realized people are not used to, in some cases, the smallest kindness of acknowledging that someone else is present. So, what are your thoughts about the fact that we've gotten away from this in some cases? Maybe in other places in the world, this is something that happens on a daily basis. How can we get into a routine where we acknowledge other people with kindness without asking for anything in return?
so first of all, I believe that emotional intelligence should be taught now. As generation has changed and children are not being raised by the parents or the teachers. They are being raised by the digital media. So that's why it's important to start teaching emotional regulation in the schools. A child should know what pain is, what anger is, what jealousy is, what happiness is, what smile is, everything. Instead of knowing about what this car is, or what the finance minister is doing, or what the Israel is going through, all that is anyways going to change, or what the currency is changing. But the pain and the feeling, the language of pain and love will remain the same everywhere, across the borders, across the genders. So that is the thing. I have made a council, and that theme is also empathy beyond gender and beyond borders.
Doctor, what an important comment you just made, that children are not being taught these things because they are on their devices. And so there's
Yes,
no judgment. I've witnessed myself being with people who are decades younger, and we're all sitting there and everyone's on their phone. I even see it at the gym, which I think is so interesting. People are taking a fitness class where you're literally doing things with weights, running, and they've got the phone while they're running. I'm just like, they cannot
yes.
put the phone down. And it's not safe, first of all, but by the way, separating yourself from the device so you can be present is something where you might actually learn something, see something, experience something. So your comment about being taught emotional intelligence really resonates with me as well. So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you. So actually in the gym, which you say, most of the people are going only there to take the selfies and get the likes, not to do the exercise.
That's a good
Even the
point.
travel, if you ask someone that they are not allowed to take the selfie or put it, how many people will go to that place for the trip? Nobody enjoys the place where they are. They just keep on taking selfies instead of immersing themselves in the experience.
Yeah,
Because the
that's
number
very
of
true.
likes is the real dopamine.
Yeah, it's very true. And sometimes I find myself, because I don't want to judge anyone, I think they're probably a doctor, right? They're probably on call. That's probably why they have the phone out. And then look around, could be 15 people or I don't know. But something you also just said
Everyone
is,
has it. Even I am always like mostly like, my mom did only say me at times like you don't talk to us, but you know what's happening in London. Like that's very wrong.
yeah, because we're not being present and we're not even paying
Yes.
attention to social cues. So
Yeah.
going back to the whole idea of iconic women, and we're talking today about women's health and women empowerment. The one thing that I've noticed a shift in, I am currently 62, tomorrow I'll be 63. But
No,
what I've
oh, don't tell me.
yeah, that's my age. But so what I've noticed is a shift in from when I was working in corporate, where there seemed to be a lot less, let's celebrate each other as women and more backstabbing. Today, I feel like, and maybe it has to do with this population here on this television network, I feel like we're really supporting each other. I feel like we're really like, you know what? Yes, you can do well. I can do well. We can all do well. Let's support each other. Do you feel this too?
I believe when women support each other, incredible things happen. And I believe in the strength of female friendships. I have survived with them, and I believe blood is thicker than water is wrong at times. So, but still, there are women who get so jealous, and they're talking about gender equality. They're talking about women in leadership roles, but uh, on the behind that's not. We all are wearing the mask only.
Yeah, that's true. And we talked about this on the other program
Yeah.
about the masks and the costume. Do you remember the quote that you shared about the costume?
Yes, I love that Franz Kafka quote.
Can you tell our
That
audience?
I felt very ashamed of myself when I realized that life was a costume party, but I went out without a mask.
I went out without a
Without
mask.
a mask and
I
with my real
showed
face.
myself as I am. And so what's the
Yes.
fear behind that? And by the way, because it is iconic women, I kind of want to drill into this. We could bring up a number of women who have all the accolades. They have the education, they have the success, but yet inside they feel extremely insecure. What's this about?
They feel so empty because they are just seeking the external validation by collecting the titles or but I don't blame them. Maybe like I always ask one question. I would love to ask you because you have a lot of experience with everybody. That what do you think? You get lonely, that's why you reach the top, or you reach the top, that's why you get lonely.
Well, I will answer that question in that I am very much alone. I'm alone most of my life. I would say for the last, I took care of my mother and she passed away in 2023. So I would say for the last 2 years, I am absolutely 100% alone, except when I go to work out at the gym. And so people will say, oh, I'm a recluse, that I'm a hermit, and I'm really not. I just have chosen peace and I don't want
Yes.
the drama and I don't want to get involved in he said and she said. And so, and I get a lot done. So I feel very much at peace because I know I'm controlling what it is I'm capable of making choices about
No.
and getting things done.
So actually that is solitude which you are
Okay.
enjoying. There is a difference between the loneliness and the solitude.
Tell us more about that, please.
like loneliness is, of course, you feel empty, you feel uh, sadness, and you feel that something is lacking. But in solitude, you have started loving yourself. That's why you are in solitude and you enjoy that peace.
So, doctor, what does it mean without any kind of judgment? What about people who literally cannot be alone? They must be with other people. And when there are no people around, I've seen this time and time again, they've got the televisions on. They might be one person in a home and they've got the radio on, they've got the TV on. What does this mean?
It is, first of all, normality is a myth. Nobody is normal in this world. Perfection is a myth. Either you can say everyone is abnormal or everyone is normal. So normality is a myth, I believe, because everyone is fighting a battle. Everyone is going through something which you don't know. Every face is carrying a story. Every smiling face is carrying a story behind, and you don't know what's happening. And as Maya Angelou said, that there is no greater agony than carrying an untold story inside. So we cannot judge, like, why. I am also the one that who cannot stay alone. And people change with time.
So, in terms of being iconic, obviously, to me, it also means being vulnerable. You just shared something vulnerable. I shared something vulnerable.
Yes.
Also, the fact, my age, there are many women who won't share what their age is, and maybe men as well. So, what are some of the attributes, in addition to being kind and gracious and empathetic and vulnerable, that makes every one of us iconic, really, regardless of our gender?
So everyone is iconic. First of all, vulnerability is really real strength, because out of your vulnerability, your strength will come. Until and unless you face your fears, how can you rise and rise from them? There should not be any shame in seeking help. For me, honesty and transparency and clarity. A woman who is on the top of the world but is honest and transparent and clear, and the respect and the mutual trust. That is the iconic woman. And definitely, yeah, if we talk about like Miss World, then Yukta Mukhi is a beauty with purpose. She has been through so much, but still she has a roots in spirituality now. She didn't forget from where she is. And Princess Diana, I really admire a lot. So real character is what you can do for the people who are not able to do anything for you. How do you treat them? That is the only character, a person's character, I believe. That how I treat a waiter or how I treat someone who cannot do anything for me. That is when my character will be revealed.
I think that's really profound. It's about how you treat people when you have nothing to gain from it. And maybe somebody won't even know it's you who did whatever it was to help someone else, because you're not looking for those accolades. You're truly about giving back and helping another person. So you are in a family of people who are doing this on a regular basis. You were all giving back.
I'm also not about giving. Nobody is perfect, of course. I also get that validation now from these titles, but I believe that I have earned them with, literally, I have traded myself for last 2 years. I have changed a lot. Once I wrote a letter, also whispered to my younger self that I have only forgotten how I was. I really want to go back to my normal self. But I have traded myself, as I believe that I failed in the relationships and my family went through a lot. So that now at least my father can smile and say, I am proud. For me, biggest award is that only when they say I am proud, or when Dr. Sukanta Sarkar, my teacher, says I am proud. That is the biggest award, whatever happens, or Dr. Amrit Joshi, any Indian psychiatrist, whoever has taught me for 10 minutes also.
I can understand.
And I really run for the recognition. This recognition I run for because I have literally worked hard for that. So I don't say that I only give, but for Jen, don't run after money, because for me, fame and recognition, in a good sense, that I can save lives of people. That
Sure.
literally two women has actually kept a phone down, that if you were not there, you would have died. But
Well,
yes, that because I also, that's why I asked you the question, that I work so hard. I'm working since last 2 years. So whether because I am lonely, I am working and reached here, or now I have reached here, people are leaving me. That is also happening. So that is why that doubt comes, because once you start succeeding, people who are jealous of you, only true people will remain with you. Everyone else will go, and you should not worry about them. It's best that people's mask will start falling down.
that's very true. And I have to agree with you. When I started this television network after I
Yes.
retired in 2020 from corporate, I lost almost everyone I was friends with. And people were saying, you're going to fail. What do you think? You're going to be a
Yeah.
celebrity? But I have to tell you, on the other side of it, now I'm very selective about who I let into my life.
Of
And the
course,
reason
one
being,
should be very selective. Yeah,
yeah, you're
that I
select
have learned with difficulty. Yeah,
because
the
all we have
biggest
is
lesson,
time.
the difficulty is love yourself. For me, it was very difficult to learn. Yeah, and maybe because I have been very fat since childhood, so that is one reason I believe I had low self. Because when I left my second marriage, first question I asked was not that what was the wrong with the guy or anybody. I asked why I am only attracting the guys who are doing domestic violence, whether I am a red flag magnet. And I wrote an article on that, red flag magnet. I took a therapy proper. So my doctor told, no, you are not a red flag magnet, but you are emotionally, you get affected. And that's why, like, and anyways, my second family, that was not, those things were not human only, anyways.
Well, if I may say, I appreciate what you shared. I think you and I have some things in common because I've also been in red flag relationships and looking at it. And so now I choose not to be in any relationships. I've been in
Yeah, so
relationships
I
a
have
long
written
time.
a poem, Catch Flights, Not Feelings.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
let's catch flights together.
Well, I think, I'm not going to analyze you or even analyze myself, but I do think that there are certain red flags that other people might see and immediately go, oh no. But to me, I always think, oh, I can help someone. Oh, I understand. They're going through something. Let me give them grace. And so I give people grace
Yes.
over and over again. And I'll never forget this. It sounds like a really kind of a dumb thing to say, but it always stood out in my mind. My dad's not with us any longer, but we were really good friends. And I had these dogs, and one of them was, her name was Ritzy. And my dad looked at her and he said, you know, Ritzy, your mom thinks that everyone's good and she gives them so many chances. What do you think about that? And the dog just looked up and turned her head like this. It was so
Yeah,
like it just stood out to
absolutely.
me because even the dog got it right that Jackie gives people so many chances. So now I'm not like that, but it's been a
So,
long journey.
because givers don't have takers don't have any limits.
Yeah.
So genius is one who knows when to stop.
Yeah. Say that again,
And
please.
people, so there are two kinds of people in the world, givers and the takers. It's good to be a giver, but takers don't have any limit, and you cannot pour from the empty cup. You have to love yourself and you have to be filled with your own cup first. That's why a genius, that is like, I will take this name for sure, that Shah Rukh Khan said this in a movie. Genius is one who knows when to stop.
Because you know what it comes down to, in my opinion, it's about setting boundaries also, because our
Yes.
intuition tells us something doesn't feel right, but for whatever reason, we keep moving forward. And I know
Yeah.
for me, I always said to myself, oh, I'll change them. But meanwhile, you can't change anyone. You can only, and so
Nobody. Yeah.
just look at someone for
You
the
can
way
just
they
change
do you.
yourself.
Exactly. And one of my favorite expressions that someone shared with me, and I love your input on it, is when someone shows you who they are, believe them.
Yes. That is the biggest mistake people do and women do. Once an abuser is always an abuser. But it's like, because of no woman wants to break the house and leave the house. Everyone has the fairy tale dreams, and Also the society failure, and no, many families don't support, but I am the most blessed person in the world. I believe that the only question I am asked is why I didn't leave, why didn't I tell them for 3 years, who told me to think about the society? That is the only question I am asked. And the moment I told my mom dad about the abuse, it was last second in the house, not even a minute. And so I am really very blessed, and that's why, so it's like you should take care of your own self. Yeah.
So, doctor, I really appreciate your honesty. What do you think it was that your mother saw? You don't have to say specifics, but what was it that she set that boundary and she's like, that's it, no more? I mean, because some people see
No,
that.
nobody set the boundaries. It was like no boundary setting only. Na? The moment I told them that I am being abused, they just got me. My friend came and I was out of the house just. And because my first marriage was a love marriage and my love was blind, deaf, dumb. So my dad, by hook and crook, he got me divorced within 15 days so that I don't go back. As guys who are very charming abusers, they come with a hoovering mechanism, like a vacuum cleaner. They suck you and take back.
So
I am really blessed. It's like you have to take the jump, and people are scared of taking that jump. And I have written one blog also that why was I scared to take the jump? There were so many parachutes ready for me. I never felt only alone because Indian Psychiatric Society was ready. Dr. Amrit Patojoshi, my mentor, Dr. Sukanta Sarkar, Shweta, Ishita. It was like, I don't know, like when I was alone, and the only scolding I get is this: are you illiterate that you were tolerating for 3 years? Or my mom dad just say this: who said to think about the society?
So here's my question for you on that. When we see young children, they're very curious. In fact, I see them at the gym. Parents bring their kids, and I just like to watch them. They're like looking around at everything and they're reacting to it. At some point, someone tells a child, don't do that. You shouldn't have said that. You're in a timeout. You're going to get punished. You have to go blah, 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 whatever it is. Or you're no good. You can't sing. You can't act. You can't write. You can't paint. And then everything changes. What happens between that and as we get older, it's like, you know what? Why don't we awaken that childlike curiosity that we've lost for all these years? What would it take to actually keep that going? Is it even possible?
Because that only even parents are running after the titles and the ranks. They will see, oh, neighbor's child got this grade and our child didn't get the grade, but they don't know the child had that hidden talent to be a biggest musician of the world, and they curb the talents just out of the pressure, society pressure. Because in our society, it's like engineer, doctor. I don't know about India, though definitely it's engineer, doctor, CA. Please, but you see how much people are doing in the world: artists, storytellers. I always say podcasters are the biggest change makers. And I always thank two podcasters, Sangeeta Relan and Naveen Samla, that really, I believe podcast. So everyone can bring a change. What you like, you can do. At least let your child explore. If it is not very harmful, if it's going into substance and all, then you say, but dance and all those things, you cannot stop a child. Who knows what talent will come? Children are like seeds, they are growing into the plant. Whether they are going to get the roses or the yellow rose or the red rose, let them.
Okay, so here's a follow-up question I have. When I was in corporate, I sold employee recognition and sales incentive programs. So do this, earn this. And a lot of that was based on motivating people to get out of their comfort zone, to do something more, be more productive, so that they can get an award or a reward at the end. And so that was the mentality that I've always had. And I've always been about gold stars, like you, with education. Like, I love the degrees and the gold stars, etc. But what I noticed changed in terms of children being recognized. It went from one person was the MVP to everyone on the team gets a trophy. So how do we make sure that we encourage children to express themselves and to be engaged in things that bring them joy versus awarding the parents and the parents' ego so that they feel like they've done a great job with their children? Does that make sense?
Why ego? First, be best friend to your child. Then only your child will tell you that what's wrong happening in his life. Otherwise, how will you know? They will keep on hiding. Even if abuse is happening, they will not come and tell you. Always be the best friend to your child. Later on, you can be father or the mother. You cannot police the children. Anyway, nowadays, so anyways, you cannot. They are being raised by that media. But still, and spend the quality time. It's not, they will not later on, like being child, they might remember you got them this gift, that gift, but later on, they will only remember how you made them feel and how much time you spent.
And doctor, there is the key. I think that has to be the tagline. People will remember how you made them feel.
Yes.
How you made them feel. And so what is it that separates that feeling when you feel, you personally, doctor, you feel acknowledged and heard versus, somebody just was, for example, when someone says, "Oh, how are you today?" And you're about to tell them and they're like, they're already gone. They don't care. But we have these casual ways of speaking to each other. What are your thoughts on that?
So actually, I am a bit different person. Like maybe like South Asians are a bit more emotional. But still, in my family, I am a more on the like little more emotional side. Like not, I am detachment is the key. Like you can get rid of the suffering because attachment is the root of suffering. So I am learning the art of detachment. This life is anyways a learning process, and I have no shame in accepting what I don't know. So I am learning that art of detachment. You have to detach yourself. How the other person is saying that should not affect your mood and because your value does not depend on how others treat you.
Okay, I think this is also an important follow-up question, and I know we can't really dig into it, so let's just talk about it as much as we can. Many times when people do not feel heard, they don't validate themselves, they turn to something else.
Yes.
That they feel empowers them. And it could be anything. It could be gambling. It could be shopping. It could be working out. We could go on and on and on about these things. So what are your thoughts about the fact that we take something else to substitute for the fact that we feel invisible?
So that is the thing, that connectivity, interconnectedness, connection is the key. Why someone should feel unheard when you all are there? And it is a highly interconnected world. I can connect with my nursery class friend also now with such a digital technology. Then why should I feel lonely? Because everybody just asks how successful I am or how many awards I got. But everyone has this validation need. Everyone wants the validation. Not the validation like that is an extreme thing, but recognition. Everyone wants to be seen. There is no person in this world who does not want to be seen, recognized, and heard. So that's why even United Nations started that Hear Her story. So everyone wants to be seen and felt and heard.
Absolutely. Now,
and
on the other
if
show
you
that we
start digging further, infidelity also happens when there is lack of communication. Substance use, that is lack of communication, relationships start break or the substance use increases. Half of like loneliness is the biggest silent killer in the world.
Absolutely. Doctor, you and I spoke on another program, and I think this is a great way to close out this interview about people asking us, are you happy? How happy are you?
Yeah.
So I'm going
Nobody
to ask
asks
you right now,
nobody.
honest, how would you rate your happiness? How would you express how happy you are, doctor, in your life right now?
Right now, I am. Anyways, I am a woman, so I don't know whether I am hormonally sad, emotionally sad, or situationally sad. Even happiness also, because sometimes PMS comes, and I have been through 3 IVF cycles and the abortions and all. So there have been a lot of hormonal changes also. The mood problems come up. But yes, I am happy. I say like pain changes people. Earlier, my happiness was in the people, how many friends I have, but now it is in me. Because like not in me, still I have that thing like I have to become he for she ambassador for United Nations. That is my aim. And because I believe the day men start talking about the women gender equality, and women start caring of taking care of men, that they also have pain, because feelings have no gender, and they can also cry, they can also feel sad, they can also feel jealous, then only the world will change. So that's why I believe men should be engaged as allies, and change will be. That is my dream, to become he for she ambassador. So
Well, I'm
it's
sure
not
you
like I am
will.
at peace because I'm working. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you taking this time to be here today, and we've explored a number of topics, and hopefully you'll come back and see us on another show. What
I would
is the
love
best
to be part
way?
of it. Yeah,
Fantastic.
I
What's the
believe
best way for people to
storytelling
contact you?
gives lot of courage.
It's yes, and you've really given a lot of insight on a number of
You
topics.
are doing a lot of work. I read about you a lot, and your main thing is this only, that first line which comes in the beginning, that empowering, changing lives, or building lives with your stories. In your advertise, the initial, the US global TV, when it comes, I saw the video, that tagline, that I loved it, because even I have written on my, like, it is one life at a time, something like that. I
That's
have also written in my introduction, like, igniting change one mind at a time.
that's right. It's
And I
that's how
loved
we
your
do it.
saying that storytelling to bring the change.
Yeah, that's how we do it for sure.
Yeah,
Doctor, we
you do
have
it that.
your LinkedIn on the screen right here. So if anyone wants to connect with you, also the link is in the notes. And we have your Instagram, which is right here. And then that's also in the show notes. And we have a Facebook group page here. Tell us a little bit about this page, Doctor.
Yes, so this is, I was given the honorary post along with Dr. Amrit Patu Joshi, who is my mentor, guide, and best friend. He has been like a GPS of my life since the most difficult times. He was the honorary secretary general of Indian Psychiatric Society, and I was assistant secretary general. And this is a wiki, that is the Industry of Commerce and Chamber. So now we were made the national president to make a council of National Psychosocial and Mental Wellness Council. And I have, it's Ananya Grover is there, who has an app, and who is just 23-year-old, and is actually working so hard to normalize conversation around women mental health, women hormones, and mental health. Then I have taken celebrities, because once the mental health professional and celebrities talk, then only people will listen. If a celebrity comes and tell this chocolate is nice, I will eat that. So Yukta Mukhi, Miss World, she is a beauty with purpose. She was Miss World 1999. She went through gender-based violence, and I have written a poem, from red carpet to red corridors of the hospital, and from golden crown to the white gown. Gender-based violence spares no one. Everyone has the same pain. So she has been through that, and I have taken her. She is a big advocate for gender equality, to bring the Indian tradition and the spirituality, because spirituality is also biggest part of the mental health, of health. Health has angle, that is a spirituality also, because it gives you faith and the anchor in life. And then Prince Manvinder Singh Gohil, he was the first gay prince to come out in 2006. He came out in front of the world, despite being from the royal family. Prince of Gujarat, that he is gay and he is into advocacy only now. And Vibhu Kashyap, who is into storytelling for a cause. He has made movies like NRI Wives. Then he believes that say yes first and the magic will begin, and it can bring the change. And they are basically mirror of the society, cinema. And he makes the movies like that. So I took them, and all my senior mentors, my father is there, Dr. Anjali Chabadia, Dr. Deepak Reja. So this is a concept, and it has access to make the policy, to bring the change. And that is the only reason I didn't want only psychiatrists. As I told you that mental health is everyone's business. It's not only psychiatrist's business. Everyone is a mental health advocate, and much better than us also. So it's about Supreme Court advocates are there. Everyone is there, like broadcasters are there.
Thank you very much, Doctor. It's been an absolute honor and pleasure to have you with us today. And for everyone who would like to be part of our community, please go over to our YouTube channels, USA Global TV and Radio, and Dr. Jacalyn KERBECK. We're going to close out our show today with a message from Tracy Cram Perkins. If you or anyone you know or love is suffering from memory loss or Alzheimer's or dementia, Tracy's written a book that is really, truly game-changing. My mother had dementia, and I was her primary caregiver for over 3 years, and this book really helped me. It's called Dementia Home Care Before, During, and After. And Tracy also hosts a TV show here on USA Global TV and Radio by the same name, Dementia Home Care Before, During, and After. So I have a copy of this book. I've passed it on to another friend whose family member had it. So please do think about purchasing this book, because it really, for caregivers and also for people who are going through this, it's very enlightening. It's easy to read. There's tons of resources. Let's take a look. USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents Tracy Cram Perkins, a dementia caregiving survivor teaching how to balance care with peace of mind. #1 resource for dementia caregivers. It's the book Dementia Home Care, How to Prepare Before, During, and After. Over 17,000 copies sold of this must-have guide. And now a testimonial from Tracy Smith.
If I was to describe this book to someone who is going through a similar situation, I would underscore how important it is to have some sort of a tool or a guidebook to help you through certain stages. And there's so many, it's such an unknown topic to the average person. And to have this as a reference is essential. It's going to help you get through it personally, as well as help your loved one manage.
To learn more, go to tracycramperkins.com. Tracy Cram Perkins is an award-winning author. She's also the host of Dementia Home Care television show. Watch it here on USA Global TV and Radio.
Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? In a world quick to judge, one book dares to reveal the hidden cost of silence. Discover Holy but Harmful: The Silent Sin of Judgment, How Hidden Judgments Destroy Relationships and Damage Lives, by Dr. Jacalyn KERBECK. The Amazon #1 bestseller that's transforming the way we understand ourselves and the way we see others. Pick up the companion workbook to uncover your own hidden judgments and learn how to break free from them. Available now on Amazon and at fine bookstores worldwide.
In a world full of noise, misunderstandings, and interruptions, master the art of listening with Dr. Jacalyn KERBECK. Dr. Jacalyn KERBECK is the listening mentor of USA Global TV and Radio and the Amazon #1 best-selling author of Mastering the Power of Elevated Listening. Elevate your listening. Elevate your life. Join a global learning experience in person or via Zoom. Reserve your spot today usaglobaltv.com/book-your-session or drjacalyn.thinkific.com. Join Dr. KERBECK's listening courses or hire her to unlock deeper connections and authentic conversations.
Markets shift overnight. Technology rewrites industries. Leadership decides who survives and who scales. Real stories, real people, real business. Welcome to the Business Show on USA Global TV and Radio, reaching audiences in more than 60 countries and home of the YouTube Silver Creator Award for surpassing 100,000 subscribers. This is not theory. This is not recycled commentary. This is business in motion. Founders, CEOs, investors, strategists, operators, the people building companies, moving capital, driving innovation. We go beyond headlines into decisions, beyond noise into strategy, beyond trends into execution, growth, disruption, artificial intelligence, global markets, leadership under pressure. Hosted by Dr. Jacalyn KERBECK and Al Sini, the Business Show delivers direct, unfiltered conversations with the leaders shaping the future of enterprise. If you're launching, scaling, investing, or redefining your next move, this is your front row seat. No spin, no scripts, no surface talk. Real stories, real people, real business. This is clarity in motion. This is momentum. This is the Business Show on USA Global TV and Radio. Executive producer Dr. Jacalyn KERBECK. Original music score Yefei Tang. Videography and production Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication, or redistribution in any form are strictly prohibited.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA-Global-TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacalyn KERBECK. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.